Hey there, it's Q. Welcome back to Hold and Modify, YouTube's most poorly produced, underproduced Amiga channel. Before you is the Amiga 2500, back from Chris Edwards Restoration. Did an amazing, beautiful job on this. I kind of gave it a little teaser show in my last video, the Zulu SCSI, the opening of that video. Nice little slow pan over the whole board, seeing all the amazing work he's done. Just beautiful. This is one of the cleanest 2000 boards I have ever seen. I mean, I know it's 35 years old, but oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Thank you, Chris Edwards. But now I have to put it all back together. And I'm gonna kind of do this as a mix of time-lapse and some commentary here and there. But for now, let's just sit back and let's get this puppy put back together. You do know what this stuff is. This is the GVP SCSI controller memory expansion, and that's what the Zulu's running off of. And then, of course, this is the Commodore 68030 FPU card that's already plugged in here. This stuff will have to come out, and then I'll put it back in, of course. Chris did put my put the 3.2 ROM in there, which I do own, so that was cool of him to do that for me. And I'm also going to be putting, in addition to the Zulu SCSI, I'm going to be putting a RGB to HDMI in the video slot, so I can have nice clean output, which I will then convert back to VGA, because I'm an insane maniac. This computer will rule the world. So it looks like it's stuck. It's hanging up on the RGB port area. All right, that did it. Finally got her locked in there into place. That was kind of a mild pain in the ass. Now I have to figure out which one of these screws goes where. Okay. So when putting the screws back into the 2500, the 2000 motherboard here, there's two screws that are slightly longer than the rest for the motherboard. And that's because they actually go into the joystick port area and like the serial port area. For some reason they screw through those ports to help secure the board down. I don't know why, but that's the weirdness that they do. Might have something to do with grounding, like making the ground plane work continuously across the board. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not smart enough like this to know. All right, see how you can't see this? See how you cannot see this? It's a slightly longer screw. So that goes into one of these holes. I think it's this one. No. Okay, so that was not a hole I could use. This is more obvious, right? Look how long that screw is. So that goes into one of these port thingies here, so let's try that. Here we go. We'll need to German torque it. Just put in there to a reasonable level. So I'm going to leave these optional port covers off because this 2500 is actually really quiet. I cleaned the power supply up and the fan is surprisingly quiet. And, you know, ventilation's good, and who knows, I like having these ports open in the back because maybe I want to try and reach in and grab something or slip something out the side, so I'm going to leave it off for now. How the heck does this thing go back in? I don't remember. Okay, alright, sure. Alright, so at this point I have gotten the Zulu SCSI plugged in and the floppy drive plugged in, and I'm going to go ahead and start testing things here and seeing if everything's working. I've also got the accelerator card back in and the SCSI controller from GVP back in there, so all should be well, hopefully. Alright, so I'm going to flick this power switch here and I'm sure everything will be perfectly fine. Okay, we got activity on the Zulu SCSI light, that's normal. Yeah, that looks good. Now, okay, so you're seeing the RGB parade on the Dell monitor there, the upper left portion of the screen. That's okay, that's just these old Dell monitors not working with the video converter I'm using. So they show an image, but they just do this RGB color cycle thing. But as you can see, the Zulu SCSI LED is flickering like crazy, so it's working, everything looks solid. Now, what doesn't look solid is my RGB to HDMI. Oh my gosh. So, remember, the red, green, blue color cycling you're seeing has nothing to do with the RGB to HDMI. That is this monitor not being compatible with my converter. But the screen rolling, the classic 50s TV rolling here we're seeing, that is the RGB to HDMI. Now, I pulled the image of this RGB to HDMI out of my Amiga 500. So there is a micro SD card in my RGB to HDMI for my Amiga 500. I pulled that out, I made a copy of it, and then took that copy and put it into the RGB to HDMI for the 2000. So not to be confusing, there are two RGB to HDMI products in use here. I've got one for the Amiga 500 and one for the Amiga 2000/2500. Well, it turns out, after some digging around, the RGB to HDMI has a unique setting for the Amiga. It has two unique settings for the Amiga. It has one for the Amiga 500 and one for the Amiga 2000. And once you switch it to the Amiga 2000, everything is perfect. Well, how beautiful is that? We've got her all put back together. We've got the GVP going. We've got the Zulu SCSI up and running, doing its thing. The accelerator from Commodore, the floppy drive. And yes, we've even got that RGB to HDMI with its really cool, funky purple lighting, giving us a beautiful screen over here. Beautiful screen. And again, like I've shown before on my Amiga 500 video, while using the RGB to HDMI for the Amiga 500, yeah, it's just super, super clean output. There's, I mean, it's pretty awesome. And again, look at your chip memory. You get all your chip memory freed up when you use the RGB to HDMI, which for this 2000 or this 2500 with only 1 meg of chip memory, you can use all the help you can get. But yeah, I just wanted to put this reassembled build together. I will obviously need to get the case put back on it, but I'm going to be leaving the case off for a while as I do some more tidying and figuring out like what to do with this Zulu SCSI, because I think I'm going to leave it outside the case so that I can have access to this SD card, or maybe I could try and fashion up some kind of bracket that holds it using the world of double-sided sticky tape, and it just kind of, you know, maybe sits like, you know, sits vertically like this, so I can get to the SD card that way. Thanks for watching.